If you're thinking about making the move to the Charlotte, North Carolina area, then you've probably heard of the Weddington area in South Charlotte in Union County. And that's because it is blown up in interest and popularity. And a big reason is the community, the athletics, the overall homes in the area. And we're going to highlight in this video what makes Weddington so popular that parents that they have children that are going to the schools are actually making sequined hats for the Weddington High School, the school in general. And no, I'm not going to keep wearing this cool hat because I'm not cool enough to wear it. So in this video, we're going to break down what makes Weddington so popular. So stick around and we're going to jump right in. Well, you've got 1 acre lots on average. You have top tiered athletics from youth league through high school, top athletics throughout the state of North Carolina, taxes, the community in general, a number of factors that we're going to cover. But first, let's talk about the actual location of Weddington and what makes that popular. Weddington's located in western Union County and is about 15 miles southeast of Uptown Charlotte, just outside of that 485 loop around Charlotte. So you're located really easy enough driving distance to get to Uptown, to really anything in the greater Charlotte area. But as you venture into the Weddington community, you get a much more open field than you'll in almost any area in the South Charlotte area. Weddington is a residential area with single family homes. You're not going to see condos, townhouses, apartments. Weddington is a larger lot type of community overall, where you have stricter guidelines for homes themselves. As you drive through, you're going to see a mixture of larger homes. You may see a horse farm. You may see a park, but you're not going to see the commercial build out intentionally in Weddington. And it just gives you that feel of a whole world, green world in of itself in the Charlotte area, and that really stands out. As far as the location, you're also about 10 to 15 minutes to get to shopping, and not just basic shopping, which obviously that's there, but also high-end retail shopping, whether it's Blakeney, Ray Farms, Waverly. You've got the Arboretum really close, which all of these have just great shopping, whether it's the local Harris Teeter to get your groceries. You've got different high-end shopping with outdoor mall areas. So all of that is very easily accessible, but you don't have to be actually within the Weddington, the town of Weddington, to have all of those. And adding all of the traffic within Weddington, it's just outside of it, so you still have that open feel in the town of Weddington. Huge highlight for individuals, families, all types of relocation, people moving to the area. That is super popular. Talked about this in some of my other videos about the Weddington community when it comes to zoning and the intentional development of Weddington. And nothing changes overnight in Weddington, and that's by design, whether it's the larger lots, the tree ordinances, the setback for development, and it's all designed to have Weddington a community that is green, open, not overdeveloped. And that's going to be a huge factor moving forward with Weddington that helps maintain the integrity of the town as well as the property value, but more importantly, just the overall enjoyment of the area and what it was intentionally designed for. So larger lots, you have mature trees, and as we'll talk about next, which doesn't have to do with zoning, but a huge draw is the schools of Weddington. So everything was intentionally designed, and the goal is with the zoning, district zoning, is to help maintain that in a intentional way. So as I mentioned, the next factor we're going to talk about of people loving Weddington, wanting to move here, and the popularity of the homes in the area, the schools, and let's talk about them. Quick timeout, and yes, I brought the hat back for this intermission. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know all things going on in the greater Charlotte area, especially the South Charlotte area, Union County, Weddington, make sure to reach out. We absolutely love hearing from people just like you all the time. My information is below, as well as a link that you can click to get on a call with me. We can jump on a Zoom, go through what it's like living in Weddington, all around Charlotte. Absolutely love it. As well as definitely check out our South Charlotte guide here, relocation guide, that's for free. You can download and enjoy that as well. With all this said, let's jump back in and talk about the schools. So yes, if you have landed on this video and have done any amount of research on Weddington and the Western Union County area, you're going to see the schools are top notch. And Weddington is kind of the pillar of the great schools in the area, ranging from Weddington High School, Weddington Middle School, Weddington Elementary, also Antioch Elementary, which has a number of elementary school students that are living in Weddington that also go to Antioch. And all of those are tremendous schools, rated 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 on greatschools.org. And a big part of that is obviously the quality of education, but also the curriculum, the college readiness as you get into high school. Weddington Elementary as well as Antioch Elementary have, just from the starting point, a great foundation for young students with their DLI program, dual language immersion. At those schools, children in kindergarten can be immersed into Spanish. Over in the Marvin area, they have actually Mandarin as a dual immersion program. Our daughter's actually taken part in that as well at Weddington Elementary, and it is fantastic. It's just a testimony to the importance of education, the quality of education that students are able to take part in the Weddington area. And that's why the schools are rated so high, because it starts from the lowest of elementary level all the way through high school. And it's not just academics that makes these schools so great. It's also the extracurricular activities that are available, as well as athletics. We'll talk about that in a second. That makes all these things together such a draw for families, and that anybody looking for a strong education, driving the price of homes up, or appreciation, I should say, of homes over time, because you want to be in an area with fantastic schools, and that's Weddington for sure. As I mentioned, the athletics in the Weddington area really ties right into the schools, but it also starts even before the athletes are getting into the schools and the high schools athletic programs. It starts with the youth athletics through WCWAA, which is the Wesley Chapel Weddington Athletics Association, right in the Optimus Park. That is one of the best youth leagues in the state of North Carolina. You have traveling programs that are traveling to the Weddington area for soccer, football, all sorts of different sports in this community that kids are starting from 5 years old in sports, whether it's soccer, baseball, football, and feeding into the athletics in the Weddington area, which the Weddington High School football, basketball, every sport is absolutely top notch. And you're getting these children from all over that are wanting to take part and be a state champion in one of the toughest divisions in North Carolina, where Weddington has been ranked for several years as one of, or if not the top high school athletic program. And it is a great place for the community involvement. You'll see parents that have their pom-poms hanging out of their windows on Friday nights, and there's a big reason for it, because you have a winning program and a program the whole community gets around. So that's another big reason that the Weddington area is so popular. It's a great place for your children to be their best and be a part of a program that has standards for only the best. And it's just a great positive environment. And it starts with the little ones all the way up through high school. And it's a town of champions, especially in athletics, that's for sure. Without a doubt, one of the hidden gems of what makes Weddington so popular, and maybe the most important aspect of the popularity of Weddington, and that's the community involvement as well as just the community pride of living in Weddington. I mentioned all the other aspects that really tie together to make Weddington great. For residents, for families, for individuals, but pride, you really get that sense as you live, drive through, are a part of the community, and it's everything ranging from the Weddington Optimist Club, taking part in the Weddington Optimist Park, serving the community, especially the children of the Union County, really general area, but you have the Waxhaw Weddington Rotary Club, one of the most popular, or I should say involved Rotary clubs in the really the whole North Carolina area. It is extremely involved. You have a variety of civic organizations like I mentioned, but also when you get into the schools, the sense of involvement from parents, part of the PTO programs. It's a very involved program supporting the schools, the teachers, the programs. All of this pride and involvement in the community goes even to council, the different committees of zoning, just being involved with the community. So it starts from the young schools where people are involved all the way up to the civic organizations. You have a very involved and really excited community to share where they live, and for good reason. So that's something you really notice as you get in the area, that people are proud of where they live. And with the popularity of living in Weddington, you have seen a huge appreciation of homes, especially since 2020. But even before then, the median average price has been higher than the greater Charlotte area for all the reasons I mentioned, and an area with larger lots and a less dense community, you're going to see homes that have higher average price points than the greater Charlotte area. So just the average price point of a home in the Weddington, the town of Weddington, is just over $1 million, median between 1.3 and 1.4 million. And that can vary. Obviously, these are medians and averages. So you have homes that are well above that, depending on the home itself, and you have some that are a little below that, but that's a good baseline for the price of homes. So it's not a community for your first-time home buyers. It's mature homes, mature trees, higher price points. So you're going to get a variety of people moving to the area, but they're looking for a higher end priced home, or I should say a higher community with amenities, and from that closeness to amenities, but not quite within the more trafficked areas. So all of that's to say that the homes have that value already baked in, but because of what is being intentionally monitored from development in the area, we'll definitely still see appreciation moving forward in Weddington, but we've seen such a quick appreciation for especially the past 5 years that it's going to be much more stable growth than we've seen most recently, and that goes across the Charlotte area as well. In some of those communities, you'll see that popularity springing up include areas like Skyecroft, you have Highgate, Lake Providence, the Falls at Weddington. There's a number of communities that, especially over the past 5 years, have been built in the area, and they're going to still continually add communities as developers acquire land, but that development is still going to have to be very much approved, follow guidelines that allow for enough land to reserved area if it's going to be less than an acre. So a lot of guidelines go in that you're still going to have very popular communities. If you want to learn more about the different communities or options in the Weddington area, definitely reach out. Happy to help in any way in that sense. but the community is absolutely one that allows for spreading your legs and being a little more open and not too far from the amenities, the shopping, and everything outside of Weddington. Well, I hope that was helpful as we dove headfirst into what makes Weddington so popular and a attraction for people looking to find a community like Weddington that's open, schools, a community, a place where you have, like I said, the openness, but not too far from amenities. If this is the place for you, definitely reach out. Love helping people just like you all the time. Once again, I am Steve Jarrell with the Longleaf Group at eXp Realty. Love to help you in any way. So until next time, we'll see you then.